What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of the Celebrity Junk. Recently, I performed a video concerning that of Sha'Carri Richardson, and she was dealing with a young lady by the name of Janique Brown, who is on the Jamaican track team. And obviously, we know Sha'Carri Richardson's a bum. She came into last place. She didn't even get to the Olympics. She's going to get smoked anyway. But she's revealed that Janique Brown was indeed her girlfriend. And she was posting on social media, talking about, that she was abused by this young lady. She felt that the lady loved her. And so Janique was interviewed by a Jamaican brother on Instagram. I won't play the clip entirety, but you can see in the background what it is. And she basically admitted that she did, had to put some hands on her one time, and that, that if she wants to press charges on her, she can. But that Sha'Carri Richardson is a clout chaser. Now, the direction I'm going to take this video is a little bit different. It's a little bit oblique. And it's in terms of what we're seeing with relationships with black women. And like I said, this lady's Jamaican. Sha'Carri Richardson's African American. Let's leave black men out of it. And what we want to do is we want to examine relationships that have nothing to do with black men. In this case, specifically LGBT relationships. Now, let me go into a video that I did yesterday, which was very controversial on my main channel here. And what was that about? It was about Brittany Cooper. Brittany Cooper said what? Brittany Cooper said that black men are being radicalized on the internet to basically become Buffalo type shooters, basically mass murderers. Okay, so that's the internet radicalization of black men, especially when it comes in terms of violence against women. This is what she's claiming without any proof or statistics, right? And I want to use that to what we see in terms of black women when they are with each other. What are the rates of domestic violence? I can tell you. These rates are equal, if not greater, than that of heterosexual couples. This is what we're dealing with here. Let me say it again. It is that of the rate of heterosexual couples. Now, O'Shea, what do you mean when you say that? That means excluding black men, right? In black-centered LGBT relationships, you can expect the same, a little bit less, or more domestic violence to occur. How do we know this? Because there are numbers that prove it. In fact, I believe that women LGBT relationships in some counties in America are even more than black men and black women, or whatever, heterosexual. So what does this tell you? It tells us that the proclivities towards violence is not just a masculine thing. Violence is not a masculine thing. Anger is not just a masculine construct or concept. It means that you have women in the black world who are just as angry and handle their problems with as much emotion as maybe some men do. And they have the ability and sometimes the proclivity to cause bodily harm to each other. But one thing is left out, is that nobody will ever say that these women who cause violence to one another are being radicalized. Do you understand that? Brittany Cooper, Feminista Jones, black feminists who, we're going to be honest, very supportive of the LGBT agenda, very left on that. Listen, politically, you can do whatever you want. I'm not here to talk about my own opinions. But when you come to this rabbit hole and you can't get around it. And the theoretical question is asked, what about these ladies here who are abusing each other? Well, it's like, oh, well, that doesn't really matter. Let's talk about the abuse you men are doing towards women. Well, what about the women who are getting abused by women? Isn't Sha'Carri Richardson? Doesn't her life matter? And the girl even said, listen, if she wants to press charges, let her do it. She's a clout chaser. Okay, so what you're saying is, I whooped your ass, and if you don't like it, go press charges, and I don't think you're gonna get the charges pressed on me because I'm a woman. Is that what you're saying? That's what it sounds like. But if that was a man that said, listen, I whooped your ass, Sha'Carri. What are you gonna do about it? Press charges, you're a clout chaser. Immediately. There's a problem. Sha'Carri Richardson is not a big lady. She's a short lady, small in stature. 4'11", 5 foot, 5'1". I don't know how tall that girl is. Sha'Carri Richardson may not be in a position to defend herself from such a woman. But for that, I can tell you they don't care. It only matters if a man is being what is considered to be abusive. Even though those proclivities towards violence and abuse are there, it's festering in those relationships. And so it brings back to the question and to the position and to the point that why are people not looking at the proclivities and violence in women? We understand that men can be violent. We understand that men are typically more violent on average. But when these women become together and men are not in the picture, violence is happening a lot. What does that tell you about the black community? That if you had more men involved in the community, you would have less violence. Because when there's no men there, then there's nobody to cause to keep order and peace in the situation. That's not there, you see? But when you take the men out of the situation, you still can't explain this bad behavior. So again, feminists have to answer for this because they push this agenda. Okay, we want, women pride, gay pride. Don't have a problem with it. You got to deal with the issues if they have problems like this, though. You can't get around this, though. How do you get around that? You can't get around it. You can't get around it. There is no way possible to get around it. And they don't want to get around it. The reasons why they don't want to get around it is because they only want to blame men, but when you have women abusing each other, that is never talked about because you can't blame men for that. And it's unethical. But guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. I really appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe, hit the bell, check out the first comment at the top. And as you know, the buffoonery remains an all-time high. I'm out.